Uno dei film più attesi presentati fuori concorso in questa 70ª edizione del Festival del Cinema di Venezia è The Canyons, diretto da Paul Schrader. Il film, scritto insieme a Bret Easton Ellis, è un noir erotico che racconta una storia di amore e possesso. I protagonisti sono James Deen e Lindsay Lohan. Ai nostri microfoni il porno attore James Deen.
I got involved with the Canyons through Twitter, actually. Bret Easton Ellis had been hearing about me from his producer, Braxton Pope, and he started writing on Twitter about how is it weird that he thinks James Deen would be the best person for this movie, to be the star in the movie. And so eventually I responded to him. It was this media explosion. I then went and we went out to dinner. He sent me the treatment. I read the movie, like the story. I fell in love with the story. Then we talked about the philosophy behind the movie of just making something for the sake of making it, creating for the sake of creating, not worrying about, income and everything like that, and just wanting to make a movie. And which I love that theory. And then Paul Schrader was directing. And so then it was just like, something I got very excited about doing. And I accepted it because it's a Bret Easton Ellis movie. I mean, I accepted it because I got to be the classic Bret Easton Ellis character of the high-functioning sociopath, the bad guy that you're rooting for, the protagonist who's also an evil person. Like, it's just such a fun, interesting character to me, and I got really excited about the role, and that's why and how. I built the role pretty much. I thought about what it would be like, what this guy's problems are, what's his background, his mental issues, what makes him insane, what's the reason why he has the problems he has, and then from there just kind of, created a character and then responded to people in whatever way that I thought he would. And it also helped because everyone kind of did their own method and their own thing with their own characters, so the interactions were nothing the way it would have been in my head. I had a vision of the script and a vision of the movie that then, because of the way Lindsay played her character and Nolan played his and Tenille played hers, that all the interactions I had with people were completely different than I thought in the script, and I really had an opportunity to kind of be the character and add another dynamic and another layer to the filming that I could never imagine would be there, and I'm very happy it was. In the Hollywood movie that I have done, singular, I got the opportunity to really kind of learn a character, dive into him, become him, analyze him, think about how he'd react to things, opposed to in my adult work where I primarily it's more about, getting as much across in the shortest amount of time possible, because if you, pay attention to an adult movie, the movie itself can only be so long, and they can only put so much character development into that time. So the opportunity to really develop a character and fully kind of get to know him was really thrilling and exciting. Regarding the American Gigolo swagger, I'm going to give credit to the director on that one, because he's the link between the two. And I would say any similarities I had to Richard Gere were all because of Paul Schrader.
I think the part of our brain that responds to explicit imagery is a different part of our brain than responds to long-form narrative. And I think these two impulses work at cross purposes, and I don't think anybody will ever succeed in making a long-form narrative that also has explicit imagery, because the brain doesn't want to see that movie.
Yeah, the explicit imagery would then, like in the Canyons, all sorts of scenes that could be considered explicit are really to further the plot. Everything is there to drive the story, and they're shot as if they were dialogue. It's not done with the intent to arouse the viewer. It's done with the intent to inform the viewer, and I think Paul is correct about that. And if anything, with the 50 Shades of Grey and stuff like that, just movies in general that I see as the years go on, it's the acceptability of more explicit images in a mainstream movie without seeing it and just being like, oh, it's tits and ass and they're trying to like arouse the viewer.
Word of mouth. I'd heard about the film and that they were casting and who was attached. Paul and Bret. They're ultra low budget, but they're films that you can't look up the director, or if you do, they have a personal message and it's just creepy. And I feel like it's really starting to change now, especially with this film. When I saw it and saw who was attached, I uploaded my video, and I think that was kind of the coolest thing, to actually have it go through and have it end up working out like this. You can see other people's auditions, you can comment, and it's it's a whole new world for acting.
Him again, I will kill him. You understand? That's a good girl.